Today I'm in Parramatta, the heart of the business community in Western Sydney, and I caught up with James Frank from Frank Law and Advisory. We spent the morning together so he could tell me a bit about his business, I could learn a bit about how he came across the search fund community, and it was great to get his perspective on this new and growing asset class in Australia. Your business, without search and without ETA, you've been through a bit of change over the last few years at Frank Law Advisory. Where are you at?
So Frank Law and Advisory, we're a second generation family owned and operated enterprise. We have two sides to our business. We've got the law firm, which is a traditional law firm, and then we have a corporate advisory firm.
Well, given the position that you hold in this marketplace in Western Sydney and the kind of client focus you have, when I think about search and ETA, you guys are right in the thick of it, right?
Yeah.
But how did you come across search and ETA and the concept and the structure and how did you first learn about it?
Two ways. One was a podcast. The second was a conversation we had, actually. So it was off the back of an introduction from a deal. We had a coffee and you kind of explained this interesting alternate asset class, I guess, and immediately it was, well, we've got clients who are looking to sell or looking to exit in the next 10 years, different stages. There's a group of people here who might want to buy that type of asset. It really is an actual solution to a problem that is real. That is, we have baby boomers that sit on valuable businesses, million, 2 million EBITDA, too small for PE, too big for private. Can we solve this problem? And yeah, it actually does work.
Yeah.
Searches sort of fit that perfect target market for us of buy, grow, sell, right? That process. So initially it was very much like, this is interesting at a one-dimensional level. And then as we've stood up services that are a little unique and different, it's become clear that there's an enriching of that validation between what we're doing, what searchers are trying to do, and then obviously as searchers have come on board, we're seeing it now in practice of going, actually, we are making a valuable contribution to their day-to-day.
What have you seen around the challenges that the structure and the community and the model is facing in these early days? What are the issues that it's facing right now that are making it a bit more clunky than it needs to be?
Probably two things immediately come to mind. The first is we are a litigious nation, and so in everything we try and do, there is a very strong appetite for big documents solve problems, etc. And the second is we have a very complex tax structure. The structure does not lend itself to agile, getting new things off the ground. And I guess probably the third thing is compliance, right? So we're very compliance heavy. We love bureaucracy in Australia. And so, if you want to set up a fund style structure that might make it easier, you've got to get an AFSL and you've got to get a trustee and you've got to get all these other things. So the compliance, we're document heavy, and the tax system makes for a really challenging ecosystem to do something quickly and with agility.
And, as you've made your way into the community per se, what have you learnt as you've kind of met the various characters that are at play?
The best thing, in my view, about the search community in Australia is the community itself, right? So it started on the front foot of let's support each other and support people and be generous with time and energy and effort and thoughts and all that sort of stuff. And then the economics flow from that, right? So I think the community itself is growing rapidly. It's very generous in its time. And it started on the right foot of if we help someone else, in a selfless way, then ultimately, there's a benefit for everyone. The community becomes enriched off the back of these 1% that happen.
From an entrepreneur's perspective, there are lots of people out there that could be great operators of these small and mid-sized businesses that are currently sitting in all sorts of roles across the marketplace. What do you see as the opportunity for those people that are kind of early or mid-stage career to actually step into something that might feel a little bit different, but actually could be a great opportunity for them?
Yeah, really significant. So I think the last couple of years in particular, we've seen, I guess, mid-manager levels balloon and some really good skill-setted people start to ask the question as to now, what next? What am I chasing? How do I continue to get the freedom that I've had but now I've been called back to the office. So I think there's this really interesting opportunity in the next couple of years and beyond that for some really great operators to come out of kind of corporate land or government land and into some really great opportunities that are presented from a deal site. And I think that's what family-owned and operated business owners need. They need to see people to run their business, that legacy component. And it's what investors need is qualified people that are eager and hungry and want to work really hard and do the ups and downs of the cycle to achieve a strategic outcome. And I think if we can marry those three people up together, then we're on to a winner.